Many of you know Cynthia already, but for those of you who don't, just let me say she's the kind of woman who you all want your daughters to grow up to be. She really has more grit and compassion than anyone I know. And she believes in putting positive energy out into the world and mentoring others and lifting up the women around her. So when Cynthia gets determined, and we talked about this symposium, well, you just basically need to step back and watch, because within 1 week of deciding to do this, she'd pretty much lined up most of our speakers and had this place. So that's why we were able to do this so quickly. So with that, I want to turn it over to Cynthia, and she will talk more about what we're going to do today, talk more about our speakers, and we'll kick this off. Thank you.
There is no better partner in this world, in this effort, than Amy Buckner Chowdhury. And I really appreciate her passion, her commitment, and her partnership with me to do this and for what we did to raise money for Hillary. She is an entrepreneur. She is a really smart person, and she is a wonderful friend that I will have for my lifetime. So we're going to move pretty quickly today, and these are TED-like talks, so I'm not going to talk for long. However, I do want to start with one of my absolute favorite quotes because I think it sets the tone for our time, and it's a quote by Maya Angelou. And Maya was often saying, when somebody shows you who they really are, believe them. Sometimes she added, the first time, but believe them. Now let me give you a few facts. Prior to noon today, in the line of succession to the presidency, a woman was number 7, Loretta Lynch. Now, that doesn't say that she would have been president, but she was number 7. After noon today, the first woman that you see in the line of succession is Elaine Chao at number 14. When they show you who they are, believe them. That sends a message. That was the message we got the morning of November 9th. You're not at the front of the line, move back in the line. And that message didn't feel very good. So now I want to tell you, and Amy alluded to this a little bit, about my mantra. And my mantra has always been, whether I said it, but I certainly behaved it, and that is, when they tell you no, I hear go. I want you to remember that, because we're going to get a lot of no's, and what we're trying to do today is encourage you to go. So far, they're going to say no to equal pay for equal work. So you need to say go and work to pass the ERA coalition. They've already said no with a very late night repeal of a whole bunch of things in the ACA that are very meaningful to women, many in this room, pre-existing conditions, coverage of birth control. So they have said no. That means you need to go and you need to fight for the ACA. They have already said no to funding Planned Parenthood, and there's conversation about taking money for the arts and the humanities out of the federal budget. You need to say go, and you need to call your congressperson. So the essence of what we're here today and what Amy and I dreamed up was the concept of it's not enough just to march. What are you going to do when you go back to your communities? We want to give you some ideas. Here are the idea people, 7 of them with a wide range. And this is not all of the things that you can work on, but what we could fit in this amount of time. So our objective is to give you some things to get passionate about, because they're going to say no a lot of the time. You've got to get out there and go. And so our name is March, Act, and Make an Impact. So I'm going to turn this back over to Amy. You're going to hear very short speaker bios. You can go and connect with them on LinkedIn. You can follow them on Twitter. You can get on Facebook. You can use our accounts as well. And that's how you're going to know more about the speakers today and what you can do.